There's a lot of noise around shipbuilding.
For any country to project power, they must have shipbuilding capabilities and they must have a strong navy with them.
Why shipbuilding should matter to investors and why are you so interested in it?
And now there's a reason behind this. It's an industry which gives a...
Okay, shipbuilding hoti kaise hai? What are shipyards?
India spends close to $90 billion.
I think that's a bet worth taking.
India में जो नेवी का बजट है, that used to be 18% of overall defense outlay. Now that has become... The Navy of China has now turned into a blue water navy. China has established this strings of pearl strategy. This industry, for it to do well, it requires a very strong government and a political will. He who controls the sea controls the world.
Okay, shipyard समझ आ गया.
हाँ.
What next?
Now थोड़ा सा commercial का भी discussion कर लेता हूँ. Because एक order जैसी ship का 30 हजार करोड़ के there are projects.
Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Tangled in Thought. Today we have yet again Ish Mohit ji. The last time we talked to you, the first episode we did was on GLP.
Right.
Something very interesting, I found very interesting. Then we also did a video with you on premiumization. Everybody loved it. Today I'm here to talk about a relatively boring sector, at least that's what I think, of shipbuilding. Lately, be it Twitter, be it brokerage reports, there's a lot of noise around shipbuilding as a sector. Honestly, for me, it sounded very boring and monotonous because it's not really a consumer-facing sector. यहाँ पे
Right.
The government is the customer. There's some military undertone to it as well. I particularly didn't find it very fascinating, but you have been very vocal about it, even on Twitter. So why don't we just start and set the tone for why shipbuilding should matter to investors and why are you so interested in it?
First of all, thank you for having me for the third podcast. Hopefully, audience को first two podcasts say they would have enjoyed, and hopefully in the third podcast we can do justice to that. But just starting with shipbuilding as a sector, so I think एक Thucydides का there was a quotation that he who controls the sea controls the world, right? Because the thing is कि there are different types of navy. So one is a brown water navy, one is a green water navy, and one is a blue water navy. So when it comes to different forms of navy across the human civilization, if you look at the world powers, so they've been able to project their power across the seas. So for example, the American Navy, it's a blue water navy. To do basically blockade in Venezuela is possible for them, and to invade Venezuela is possible for them. Similarly, the Navy of China has now turned into a blue water navy because over the years they invested so much in shipbuilding that today they control 55% of the entire world supply for ships. And that has now turned into a blue water navy because they have even more ships than US now. Now similarly, Russia is also a blue water navy, but Russia के साथ दूसरी problem है कि उनके पास ports का access ही नहीं है. That's a different problem. This is why controlling Ukraine and stuff becomes very important for them, right? So वहाँ पे different type of problem है. Some of the European countries also have blue water navies, but the problem has now become of constrained defense budgets. But for any country to project power or to make sure that their shipping lines are clear, they must have shipbuilding capabilities and they must have a strong navy with themselves. अब जैसे इंडिया के केस में, अब इंडिया इज अ पेनिनसुला कंट्री दैट वी आर सराउंडेड बाय वाटर ऑन थ्री साइड्स, राइट? अरेबियन सी, बे ऑफ बंगाल, इंडियन ओशन, right? So nearly 95% of all our trades, all our trading happens by the routes which are maritime in nature. माने कि वो routes which a lot of other countries are using, and these routes are established in the past. Now, because 95% of our trade happens via the sea, via the ocean, having own shipbuilding and a strong navy becomes imperative. Now, today what has happened is that there are two forms of industries within shipbuilding. एक तो है military shipbuilding, एक है commercial shipbuilding. And I think there is a industrial defense complex. So जो military defense complex है, it is true for all nations. For example, internet was not an innovation of the industry. It was an innovation by the basically DARPA, जो US की defense organization है. Then it had a commercial usage. Similarly, shipbuilding is a similar industry where you build capabilities, capacities. First, you build a strong navy, military usage hota hai, and then it start also reflecting into the commercial use case. And for that, there needs to be a strong resolve by the government. I'll give you one example. That China में ships, each and every vessel has a 20% subsidy given by the Chinese government.
Okay.
And India में recently you would have seen Kashish कि India में infrastructure एक infrastructure status दिया गया ships को. Why has that been? Because if it is not infra status, so there is no long-term financing available, and the financing at a cheaper rate. And also shipbuilding clusters बनते हैं. That is done close to the coastal cities. So China में, just for example, financing rate for shipbuilding is like 4%.
Okay.
Which is nothing basically. It's like कि मतलब वहाँ की government ही borrow कर रही है. India में same rate is at 10% today, right? So that's the cost of difference, or that's the type of cost which countries need to bridge to really focus on shipbuilding industry. And shipbuilding की जैसे industry evolve हो रही है ना, what has happened is that कि there are 3 countries in the world which control 95% of the market. China, 55%, 30% Korea, South Korea, right, and 10% Japan. And it's also an industry which requires a lot of manpower. क्योंकि ऑलमोस्ट 20-25% कॉस्ट मैन पावर में है. मैन पावर भी अनस्किल्ड भी है, स्किल्ड भी चाहिए. लाइक वेल्डिंग वाले लोग चाहिए, पाइपिंग वाले लोग चाहिए, वर्किंग विद डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ मटेरियल के लिए पीपल शुड बी देयर, इंटीग्रेशन वाले लोग चाहिए. सो इंडिया में क्या हो रहा है कि पीपल, इंडिया इज जस्ट मूविंग फ्रॉम बाय, इम्पोर्ट एंड ऑपरेट टू बिकमिंग अ सिस्टम इंटीग्रेटर, वेयर यू एटलीस्ट हैव योर ओन स्ट्रक्चर. इवन इफ यू आर इम्पोर्टिंग द कंपोनेंट्स को भी आप इंडिजिनाइज कर रहे हो. बट दैट इज हाउ इट इज. एंड क्यों ये इंडस्ट्री इंडिया में बनेगी, आगे बढ़ी, या क्यों बन सकती है? बिकॉज सी चाइना में जस्ट 2 state owned corporations, I think they've just recently merged. I think one is CSSC, second one is CSIC. Both the companies have merged. Just these 2 companies employ about 6 lakh people, for example. Similarly, South Korean entire shipbuilding industry employs close to 2 lakh people. The Japanese shipbuilding industry employs close to 1 lakh people. Japan used to have close to 25% of all the outstanding vessel orders in 2015. That has fallen to now 7 to 9%. And now there's a reason behind this. Japanese society is aging rapidly. There is literally an issue of labor. There's no manpower to make the ships. Similarly, South Korea में example देखें तो Korean companies are actually one of the Korean companies, अगर आप Hyundai का example लेते हैं तो they have come to India and signed up a shipyard in Tamil Nadu. So they're building a big shipyard in Tamil Nadu. Almost they're spending $2 billion on that. Mm-hmm. That is how the structure of the industry is evolving. And this industry, for it to do well, it requires a very strong government and a political will. Because this industry needs subsidies, this industry needs shipbuilding clusters, this industry needs long-term financing, this industry needs lower cost of borrowing. Mm-hmm. And all those things are now being given a push by the government. So I think जो हरदीप सिंह पुरी जी हैं, जो हमारे एक मिनिस्टर थे, पेट्रोलियम मिनिस्टर थे, तो इनका रिसेंटली 14 नवंबर का एक ट्वीट था, इफ यू कैन चेक, तो देयर ही मेंशन्ड कि लाइक ऑलमोस्ट 20% ऑफ एंटायर वर्ल्ड शिप्स इन बाय नेक्स्ट 10 years विल एटलीस्ट गो थ्रू बाय इंडिया. कभी ना कभी इंडिया के पोर्ट्स पे डॉक करेंगे, बिकॉज दैट इज हाउ द इंपॉर्टेंस ऑफ इंडियन इकोनॉमी इज ग्रोइंग. देन वी ऑल्सो सॉ सैमसंग हेवी इंडस्ट्रीज actually doing a tie-up with one of the Indian shipyard players, right, to provide capabilities and to provide know-how of shipbuilding in India. Mm-hmm. So that is how the industry is evolving. अब एक जो आपका first question, the first principle, why is this important? Now, why is this important? Because see, India spends close to $90 billion on foreign-owned vessels every year. Freight cost is $90 billion, and close to 96 to 97% of the vessels operated in India are foreign. Now, this number, just to put it in context, this freight cost of $90 billion, which goes in forex, is actually second only to crude oil imports of India. Okay. So that's the size of the forex that goes out. One more reason, it's an industry which gives a lot of employment, right? India में one thing you can say कि लोगों की कमी नहीं है, right? There are too many people in India, close to 1.4 billion लोगों की population है. So that is also there. And third reason is, this is a military reason in nature, is that कि if you study not Pakistan, but if you study China, the stronger neighbor, because Pakistan का like military, like navy spend is barely $900 million a year, and they don't have a strong navy, like very few vessels, very few capable ships, right? Very few destroyers or frigates. But whereas if you talk about China, so China has close to 280 ships or warships which can actually go and fight, which is the largest in the world right now. And they plan to have close to 10 to 15 aircraft carriers. जैसे US में अभी 11 है, चाइना पास 3 है, इंडिया पास 2 है. That is INS Vikramaditya and INS Vikrant. But China already has 3. But China didn't have any 10-15 years back. And they've been locally building these aircraft carriers, because aircraft carriers showcases that you have become a blue water navy, that you can go outside your own waters. So Indian Navy in that aspect, when it comes to South Asia, is very capable. But when you talk about a stronger neighbor, that is China, because China has trade surpluses, they have like a massive defense budget. So what has happened is that China has established this strings of pearl strategy. There are a lot of interesting books that you can read. There's a book on India's supply chain in a world at war. And it's a recent book that I read. I've just read 3 chapters. So उसमें Navy का बहुत importance है. Because India, like at the end, we still import our energy. Right? So entire energy is imported. Now, just to give an example कि now China का strings of pearl क्या है कि पाकिस्तान में जो port है by the name of Gwadar, so that's a dual usage port. एक तो commercial use case के लिए, and because the Chinese government has given a lot of subsidies to make that port, interest rates are high, so they can in future also do a dual use case for it. Like Pakistan, Arabian Sea side, Indian Ocean side, Sri Lanka, Bay of Bengal side, Myanmar. So 3 ports, strings of pearl. And because they have the largest number of warships in the world, so for having a strong navy or having an indigenous shipbuilding industry becomes even more important for us to protect our basically shipping routes, to make sure that trade is carried out seamlessly. And this also reflects in the Andaman project. So if you talk about the Greater Nicobar project, so actually में जो Strait of Malacca है, that is close to Indonesia, so that is almost 40% of world's trade passes through that.
Okay.
And India की अगर आप बात करें तो India is now developing a port in basic Nicobar, airport भी develop कर रही है and port भी develop कर रही है for in making sure that we have a presence over there, and we make sure that we have counterweight to China, and also to make sure कि strings of pearl के network को हम counterweight कर पाए. So that is what India is doing, just for example. So we are spending close to $9 billion on that port. Okay. And not only that, so that port will also have capabilities to dock India's warships. Because again, you have to protect these trade routes. So that is how this industry becomes important.
So I was more of looking at it just from an investment perspective, but if we have a more macro lens to it, it has geopolitical importance. It's a matter of who controls the trade. It's a matter of huge forex also that goes out. And if we are able to solve a lot of these things, including employment, through focusing on just a very simple, not so simple although, a very complex industry like shipbuilding, I think that's a bet worth taking. And I guess India has been taking steps, जैसे आपने बताया. But before we talk a bit more about the overall macro picture, why don't we take a step back and try to understand everything within the sector? When I mean value chain, कि okay, shipbuilding होती कैसे है? What are shipyards? Shipbuilding का process कैसे है? What all is required to make a ship worth sailing in the sea? And hopefully during this process we are able to understand and identify choke points कहाँ हैं, opportunities कहाँ हैं, and maybe let the conversation flow from there.
So I think just coming through first principles, तो पहले जो Indian shipyards है, right? So India के अंदर namely shipyards are PSU companies namely, right? तो एक military applications है और एक commercial applications है, right? And there are a lot of PSUs over there. तो पहले अगर वैल्यू चेन ब्रेक डाउन करते हैं, आई थिंक प्लेयर्स अंडरस्टैंड करते हैं, देन लेट्स अंडरस्टैंड कि ये सेक्टर में शिप बनती कैसे है, कंपोनेंट्स क्या है, एंड क्या क्या प्रॉक्सीज एग्जिस्ट करते हैं, और इन कंपनीज की प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी क्या है, एंड व्हाट इज द गवर्नमेंट इंसेंटिव दैट इज हैपनिंग. तो इफ यू ब्रेक डाउन दिस सेक्टर, आई थिंक शिपयार्ड साइड पे देयर इज अ कंपनी कोचीन शिपयार्ड, देयर इज अ कंपनी मजगांव शिपयार्ड, एंड देयर इज अ कंपनी बाय द नेम ऑफ GRSE, देन हिंदुस्तान शिपयार्ड है और गोवा शिपयार्ड भी है. दोज आर इन द अनलिस्टेड स्पेस, अगेन PSUs. Then there's a company Swan Defense करके, it has acquired Reliance Naval, so they have a very large capacity, but again they're still figuring it out because that company for them it's the first time they're getting into private shipyards, right? And there's also Adani Ports का भी एक shipyards का arm है, L&T भी shipyards के अंदर है, right? So even private players are there. They have their small shipyards at the moment. Even Titagarh Wagons is entering shipyards. So again, small shipyard, right? So actually shipyard को अगर हम देखेंगे तो if you want to classify these in companies or if you want to simplify it, so if you look at companies like Cochin Shipyard, they have expertise in manufacturing large vessels. जो इंडिया में जैसे INS विक्रांत बना है, which is the aircraft carrier, so that is made by Cochin Shipyard. So they have expertise in manufacturing large displacement vessels.
So again, sorry to cut you off, but to understand correctly, a shipyard is nothing but a huge factory for making ships.
Shipyard is like a huge factory for making ships. That is what is correct. And अब क्या होता है कि फैक्ट्री में कोई चीज़ कभी कभी रिपेयर भी मांगती है, तो आप शिप को ऑन सी तो रिपेयर नहीं कर नहीं सकते. You have to bring it to the factory. Then it also requires maintenance. Then it also requires modification. Then it also requires upgrades. Right? जैसे इंडिया में जितनी सारी आपकी पुरानी बैटल शिप्स है, so you are upgrading their guns right now, which order GRSE has entirely. To do that upgrade, the ships have to come to the shipyard, right? GRSE has to provide the naval surface guns, right? So that's an example. But yes, shipyard in a simple term, if you want to understand, कि जैसे auto industry के अंदर auto factories होती है, वैसे shipyards are factory for ships where ships are made, repaired, maintained and modified, right? And shipyards are like again, if it's a riverine shipyard, जैसे GRSE का riverine shipyard है, अब क्योंकि वहां पे डिस्प्लेसमेंट ही इतनी नहीं है, तो यू विल एंड अप प्रोड्यूसिंग लाइक स्मॉलर शिप्स और शिप्स विद अ लोअर डिस्प्लेसमेंट. जैसे GRSE के केस में दे विल बी मेकिंग फ्रिगेट्स और दे विल बी मेकिंग पेट्रोल लाइक वेसल्स, लाइक जो पेट्रोलिंग के लिए यूज होती है. सो दोज टाइप ऑफ वेसल्स दे विल बी मेकिंग. वेयरएज अगर मजगांव डॉकयार्ड की बात करते हैं, सो दे हैव अ बिगर शिपयार्ड. So they'll be making and actually may only company which has the capability to do submarines in India, that is Mazgaon shipyards. So they'll be making destroyers and they'll be making submarines. Whereas Cochin Shipyard, because they have the biggest shipyard, it was established in 1972. So they'll be making larger vessels. So that's a basic distinction to make in the industry. Goa shipyard भी छोटे shipyards के अंदर है, right? So riverine based shipyards होते हैं and sea based shipyards होते हैं. तो riverine based में हुगली river पे जो GRSE का उनका shipyard है, right? So that is how classification of the industries. Even companies like L&T or companies like Adani Ports or companies like Titagarh Wagons, they are getting into smaller shipyards to start with.
Okay.
And shipyards की जो capacity होती है, how do you look at capacity? So capacity, you look at the number of ships they can produce in a year. जैसे GRSE currently can produce 28 ships in a year, which is they are planned to take it to 40 ships a year in next 3 years. So that is how you also look at capacity, displacement पे, and in terms of कि कितने number of ships आप बना सकते हैं.
So इसमें जो company capex करेगी, it would mean the existing shipyard making a larger shipyard, maybe buying more land, expanding there. How does capex look on that front when we are saying, when they give a target ki from 28 ships we'll get to 40? How does that happen?
So allotment of more places where shipyards can be built via the government has to happen. And then I think capacity का जो right metric to look at in this industry, एक तो displacement पे देख सकते हैं, but I think better metric जो simpler है investors के लिए कि कितनी ships एक shipyard से produce हो सकती है. So that's the simpler metric to look at. And when you're analyzing companies, you also have to look at ki which type of orders they take. That I'll come to in time. Like I think because value chain पहले हम scratch से समझते हैं.
अच्छा, तो इसके बाद क्या? Okay, shipyard समझ आ गया.
हाँ.
What next?
Next, let's go to how a ship is built and what is the key cost component. Okay. तो ये तो हमने समझा कि shipyards क्या होते हैं और military side of things हमने समझी. And military side of things में actually एक चीज मैं और add करना चाहूँगा before I forget कि इंडिया में जो नेवी का बजट है, that used to be 18% of overall defense outlay. Okay. Now that has become 40%. Okay. And also within this 40%, close to, because in rest of the defense outlay, जैसे अगर आप like military का देखते हैं जो land based combat में है, तो वहाँ पे majority of the outlay is on pension and salaries. Whereas when it comes to navy में 30-35% of the outlay is only for pension and salaries. 60 to 65% of the outlays for upgradation and purchase of new war vessels. क्योंकि आज इंडिया में 40 के आसपास frigates, destroyers and like different vessels हैं. And this number अभी 60 projects are already under are ongoing at the moment, and 70 new projects are in the pipeline. Okay. So from 40, 60 ongoing, 70 new in the pipeline. So industry size for military is going to triple for navy, right? Almost.
Yeah.
In next 10 to 15 years. and these companies will be stacked with orders for next decade. Because एक order जैसे शिप का 30,000 crore के there are projects. So that projects I think I'll just get to in a while. But अभी तक हमने नेवी एप्लीकेशन एंड शिपयार्ड्स की बात करी. नाउ थोड़ा सा कमर्शियल का भी डिस्कशन कर लेता हूँ. कमर्शियल में there is a company, Shipping Corporation of India. So Indian government is trying to revive that company, right? And recently HPCL, BPCL के साथ this company has signed a big contract to supply oil containers to them.
Okay.
It's a very recent contract that has been signed. तो commercial shipbuilding industry को देखते हैं.
So HPCL and BPCL will be, let's say, getting their crude from outside using the containers being built and maintained by
Shipping Corporation of India. Like they have ordered for the basically vessels from SCI.
And अभी तक जो भी HPCL, BPCL कर रहे थे, they were relying on foreigners.
On foreign vessels.
So this यहाँ पे भी indigenization is happening.
First time.
Oh, okay. First time.
First time इतना बड़ा order दिया. Right. Similarly, like actually अगर government focus देखते हैं ना, because shipyards भी government के, Shipping Corporation of India भी government की है. अब एक और चीज आती है, Dredging Corporation of India. वो भी owned by Indian government है. Right. So there is another company, KMEW करके, Knowledge Marine and Engineering Works. So that's a private dredger. But Dredging Corporation of India, it's owned by 4 ports. I think Jawaharlal Nehru Port is one of the leading authorities over there. And वहाँ पे भी 300 crores अभी government ने infuse करा है. They have also given big orders for dredgers.
What's dredging?
Dredging is basically when you remove sediments and you make the waterways like more friendly for transportation, and you can build a port over there. क्योंकि sediments बहुत होते हैं ports के पास. तो वहाँ पे आपको dredging की need पड़ती है.
So in dredging company के clients will be all those who own shipyards.
Maybe all those who are into ports. Those are the key clients.
Not just shipyards.
Not just shipyards. Ports, shipyards, all will be the key clients. Okay. Because if you talk about your Dredging Corporation of India, India में inland waterways इतना है, but still not utilized. Why not? Because dredging capacity नहीं है. So how do you solve for that? You capitalize these dredging companies. You give them big orders. And that has started happening in last 1 to 1.5 year. मतलब एक तो होता है कि गवर्नमेंट सिर्फ बोल रही है, जैसे बहुत सारे like government schemes में government said and they didn't do it. But now the government has actually capitalized the company. So when it comes to commercial aspect of it, so there are companies which are into vessel manufacturing, जैसे Shipping Corporation of India का भी took an example, but again a PSU. Right? Then there are companies who own these vessels and they typically do a रेंटल बिजनेस. कि आपका क्रूड ऑयल इंपोर्ट एंड एक्सपोर्ट है, राइट? अगर आप क्रूड ऑयल इंपोर्ट कर रहे हैं तो उस पे बेसिकली यू अर्न अ फिक्स्ड फी ऑन दैट डिपेंडिंग अपॉन व्हाट द वर्ल्ड रेट और शिपिंग रेट्स आर. जैसे जेस्को करके कंपनी, ग्रेट ईस्टर्न शिपिंग कंपनी, तो दे टिपिकली प्रोवाइड अ NAV ऑफ देयर एंटायर पोर्टफोलियो, नेट एसेट वैल्यू, कि दिस मेनी शिप्स वी ओन, इस पे इतना मनी वी कैन मेक. You take that to the future and discount it back to the present value. This will be the NAV of all our ships, the cash flow earning potential. Right? So they give that type of metric in their own investor presentation. Even companies like ABS Marine will be in this. There are companies like CMEC. So CMEC provide these basically diverse services. तो जो offshore oil exploration होती है उसमें भी आपको ships चाहिए होती है. Right? So वहाँ पे CMEC की ships use होती है, and that type of an industry is in a demand supply mismatch, those type of ships in the world. Right, because not many are built, and this company has ordered for new, and they're also doing a merger right now, right? Further with the promoters, private entities. But again, वहाँ पे rental yields या फिर आपको जो yield होती है उनकी, that you have to track. There are different terms, but at the end, it's effectively a asset ownership business, जिसको आप asset को rent पे दे रहे हो, and rent of that asset is decided by the commodity price and the demand supply mismatch in the world. Then when it comes to companies which manufacture the vessels, एक तो Shipping Corporation of India, but even our companies like GRSE or Cochin Shipyard, they also manufacture for the commercial sector. And LNG जो ships होती है, that only Cochin Shipyard in India can build at the moment. So again, that's an example of commercial vessel building. तो commercial shipyards, commercial shipping में क्या है कि there are these asset owners, like there are these manufacturers of commercial vessels like GRSE, Cochin Shipyard, like Shipping Corporation of India. Then there are customers like जो oil and gas वाली companies हैं, और companies which are into typically this rental type business model. जैसे ABS Marine होगी, they have 30 ships, smaller ships in nature, but there are companies like Jesco who have big oil tankers with themselves, right? They also have basically ships which can also transport and handle gas. Then there are companies like देख सीमेक करके हमने जो बात करा जो बेसिकली ऑफशोर ऑयल में भी यूसेज आती है. सो दीज आर द एसिड ऑपरेटर्स. देन देयर आर कंपनीज विच आर इनटू ड्रेजिंग, राइट? जैसे KMEW करके एक कंपनी है ड्रेजिंग में. देन देयर इज अ कंपनी ड्रेजिंग कॉर्पोरेशन ऑफ इंडिया जिसको भी इंडियन गवर्नमेंट बैक्ड है, ओन्ड बाय 4 ports, recently capitalized. Right, they have also placed an order to get more basically dredging equipment and dredging cranes. Right, recently they have placed an order. Actually, their credit rating talks about it. So that is a commercial aspect of the shipbuilding sector. But commercial aspect में क्या है कि again follow what the government is doing. Maybe some of the companies which are into vessel manufacturing. Because see the rental type business जो है जो companies जो assets own करती है वहाँ पे fluctuation बहुत है charter rates में. यहाँ पे चाहिए that's the term to use, charter rates over here. Because again very simple में rent समझिए कि जो rental है यहाँ पे that is it fluctuates a lot. It is very tough to forecast that, right? And it also depends upon world pricing of that particular commodity or or that charter. So it's tough to forecast. Then there are companies into dredging. So dredging is an area where I think Indian government is focusing a lot right now. Because inland waterways develop करने हैं या फिर ports की capacity बनानी आपको बढ़ानी है. जैसे इंडिया में अभी 1700 MMTA ports की capacity है, which the government wants to take to 10,000 as per the Amritkal Bharat vision, right? 2047. Hopefully, let's see. But even if you look at the expansion plans of JSW Infrastructure or Adani Ports, you'll get an idea that these companies will be expanding their capacity by 10 to 15% per annum. Right? So the more ports are built, the more dredging is required. The more inland waterways are there, the more amount of dredging will be required. But only 2 companies at the moment in this sector. So that is on the commercial shipbuilding landscape at the moment.
So Ishmohit, I think we've covered a lot on a lot of things around shipbuilding, but we still haven't talked about the ship itself.
Right.
Ship बन रही है, कैसे बन रही है, कहाँ बन रही है समझ आ गया shipyard में. What all is needed? आपने labor की बात की, raw material होगा, components होंगे, a lot of things, right? Let's focus on that.
So I think what I'll do is that कि हम एक बारी देखते हैं कि how a ship is made, the cost of different components, right, and the types of different vessels. Because some vessels will take 12 years to get built. Let's suppose if you place an order for a submarine, just for example, hypothetically, so it will take at least 10 to 12 years to get delivered, right? Suppose you place an order for a like a patrolling vessel, so that will get built easily, right? That will take 2-3 years to get delivered. But it's a long dated order cycle business. Before I go there, a very simple distinction for anyone or everyone who's watching this podcast. I'm assuming that Zerodha's audience is very smart, right? So, when you're investing in order book companies, so again, this is a classic order book business, right? So there are 2 types of order book. एक होती है short dated order book. जैसे अगर आप HBL हो गया, HBL Engineering is a company which manufactures those TCAS systems. So जो कवच systems जो railway safety के लिए use हो रहे हैं. Actually, we can have a podcast on that also sometime. So that's a short dated order book business. Basically, you're given an order, you have to execute in 12 months.
12 months, okay.
If 12 months you don't execute, your order stands cancelled.
Okay.
Then it will go into retendering.
Acha, okay.
So that's a short dated order book business. Then there are these long dated order book businesses. जैसे for example, India में जो Tejas fighter jet बन रहा है, that has taken n number of years, right? Because it's a long dated order book business. So shipping industry also falls into medium to long dated order book business depending upon the types of vessel you'll be manufacturing. So this distinction is very important because a lot of times what also happens is that कि some of these companies also get liquidity damages in other income. तो कभी-कभी क्या होता है कि आपकी order book का जो execution होता है, so your higher margin projects gets executed which leads to very high margins in the profit and loss statement. But next year क्योंकि उनकी execution नहीं होती, तो you don't earn revenues on that. तो इसमें I think percentage of completion method follow होता है कि कितना order आपका order complete हो गया percentage wise and कितना margin उस पे earn कर पा रहे, right? So जैसे मजगांव डॉकयार्ड है for example, before I go towards more basics, very important for investing nuance. So their margins were at peak over last 3-4 quarters. Okay. Because they executed or they were to the finalize, like they were to the end stages of the contract and they had very high margins in that particular contract जो execute कर रहे थे. But now from here what will happen is that once it is gone, your margins will fall off a cliff.
Those incremental projects जो आगे के dated है, long dated है, वहाँ पे margin कम है.
हाँ, मतलब इसमें different cycles होती है कि आप middle में अर्ली स्टेज ऑफ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट एग्जीक्यूशन में या लेट स्टेज में. लेट स्टेज में टिपिकली मार्जिन बहुत हाई हो जाते हैं.
Okay.
So that's the
Because it's closer delivery.
closer to delivery. So that's a distinction which is important for investors because you don't want to be paying peak multiples at peak margins.
But ऐसा भी तो है ना कि ऐसा नहीं है कि these orders work in cycles and
Yeah.
incrementally continuum में वो आते रहते हैं. तो maybe इस quarter कुछ projects का end हुआ, next quarter भी कुछ होगा. So should not it be as cyclical जितना आप कह रहे हो, और ऐसा नहीं होता.
Actually, if you look at management's commentary, they'll give you an idea about the margins. Management is itself saying it's peak margins. The margins won't go above this. So PBT margin you have to normalize by 600 to 700 basis points to assess the real margins of the company.
And you're saying most of this peak margin gets attributed to the fact where is it in the
completion stage कि किस type का order है, कब वो book हो रहे हैं उसके revenues. So that's the thing.
Let's come back to ships.
Right. So I think the investor nuance is clear now. So now coming back to ships, right? How a ship is made, what are the key components and different types of vessels. So actually, how a ship is made, right? So first, a special type of steel is like amphibious steel या फिर marine grade steel कहते हैं उसको. So that steel is there's a basic raw material. So India में I think SAIL and Jindal make it, but majority of it is still imported. But these companies can scale up if the demand is there. So steel plate entering. देन शॉर्ट ब्लास्टिंग होती है, प्राइमिंग होती है, देन इट इज कटिंग होती है, फिर यूनिट असेंबली होती है, यूनिट असेंबली के बाद सब असेंबली होती है एंड ग्रैंड असेंबली होती है. बेसिकली दिस इज अ स्टेज वेयर स्टील जो होता है उसके आप डिफरेंट तरीके के आप उसके कंपोनेंट्स बनाते हैं. देन सब असेंबली एंड ग्रैंड असेंबली तक आप जाते हैं, लाइक एज यू कैन सी इन दिस पर्टिकुलर फ्लो चार्ट. देन देयर इज अ प्री स्टेज आउटफिटिंग एंड प्री स्टेज पेंटिंग होती है लाइक इंटायर शिप के ऊपर. देन प्री इरेक्शन होती है. इरेक्शन स्टेज के बाद फुल इरेक्शन स्टेज आता है जहाँ पे क्रेन्स लगी होती है. एक्चुअली दीज क्रेन्स आर मेड बाय वन कंपनी इन इंडिया, दैट इज BEML, राइट? सो ओनली वन कंपनी मेक्स दीज शिपिंग जो डॉकयार्ड्स है उसके अंदर शिपयार्ड्स में क्रेन्स लगते हैं. BEML इज अ प्राइमरी मैन्युफैक्चरर. एंड आफ्टर द शिपिंग इरेक्शन इज डन, देन यू लॉन्च द शिप. आफ्टर लॉन्चिंग, right? So I think you might have seen YouTube videos, is that when a ship goes from a shipyard to the ocean, ki how it just slides to a ground. I think if it is not there, तो आप एक बार चला सकते हैं so that everyone can see. Then post stage outfitting होती है, then sea trial होता है, naming ceremony होती है, and finally the ship is delivered. So this is the entire process. अब इस entire process में what is the cost? The hull structure or the basic material, which is steel fabrication outfitting, is 15 to 25% of the cost. This also includes fabrication labor, coatings, weldings, and steel. Machinery and propulsion system. So propulsion system India में आज भी नहीं बनता. We procure our technology from Germany, right? So अभी GRSE ने एक German company से tie-up करा था. So 25 to 35% of our machinery and propulsion is, like systems. It is 25 to 35% of the cost. This includes engines, gearboxes, shafts, propellers. तो नीचे propellers होते हैं ship में, right? And auxiliary systems, right? Then weapon sensors and combat systems. This is true for warships. That is 20 to 30% of the cost. For naval projects, this can dominate the cost, often imported or highly specialized. Just to give you one small example here, recently the naval surface guns in India have been indigenized.
Okay.
With a company by the name of Elbit Systems, which is an Israeli defense company. Right? So GRSE like bought these from them. तो उन कंपनी का आई थिंक एक लोकल मैन्युफैक्चरर है, आई थिंक आदित्य प्रेसीटेक करके कंपनी है, तो उन्होंने उसको लोकलाइज करा यहाँ पे. एंड आफ्टर लोकलाइजिंग लाइक दिस अगेन दिस वाजंट लोकलाइज्ड बिफोर. तो सरफेस माउंटेड गन्स जो होती है वॉरशिप्स के ऊपर, सो दैट वन गन कॉस्ट बिटवीन 20 to 30 crore rupees. एंड लाइक इट हैज टू बी फिटेड एंड इट हैज टू बी ऑल्सो लाइक कहते हैं ना कि मॉडिफिकेशन भी होती है, बिकॉज बहुत सारी पुरानी शिप्स हैं, उन पे अगर आप ये नहीं मॉडिफाई करेंगे एज पर न्यू टेक्नोलॉजीज, एंड दैट्स आल्सो एन इशू. सो GRSE हैज गॉट एक्चुअली बिग ऑर्डर्स फॉर दीस सरफेस माउंटेड गन्स, बट अगेन फर्स्ट ये इंपोर्टेड थी बट अब इंडिजिनाइज हो गई. दिस इज एन एग्जांपल ऑफ मेक इन इंडिया. एट फर्स्ट यू वर इंपोर्टिंग, नाउ यू आर इंडिजिनाइजिंग.
ये इंडिजिनाइजेशन वाला आई गेस आप ही ने बताया था कि यू आल्सो हैव किर्लोस्कर इंजन्स जो अब,
right,
बट आपने अभी मुझे बताया प्रोपल्शन में ऑल ऑफ इट इज इंपोर्टेड.
Correct.
प्रोपल्शन इज डिफरेंट फ्रॉम इंजन्स, हाउ डज दैट वर्क?
Propulsion is a different technology. So it's like कि again propulsion आपका किस पे बेस्ड है? डीजल बेस्ड का propulsion है, हाइब्रिड बेस्ड propulsion है. So again that technology see like जैसे गैस टर्बाइंस इंडिया के अंदर शिप की इंपोर्ट होती है, तो propulsion is also imported. So propulsion technology is complex and it's like a fighter jet engine technology.
Okay.
तो अभी इंडिया में प्रोपल्शन टेक्नोलॉजी नहीं आई है. इट विल टेक एन नंबर ऑफ ईयर्स और टेक्नोलॉजी टाइप्स. बट जो इनके इंजन हैं शिप के, राइट, अब डीजल इंजन यूज होता है काफी सारी शिप्स में, तो वो इंडिया में फर्स्ट टाइम इंडिजिनाइज हो रहा है. दैट इज बीइंग मैन्युफैक्चर्ड बाय अ कंपनी बाय द नेम ऑफ किर्लोस्कर ऑयल इंजन्स. And so they have been given, I think, orders for I think two at the moment. Then gearboxes है, तो gearboxes भी ship के कंपनी बनाती है, Elecon Engineering. So they are also getting 400 to 450 crores of orders. Then gears होते हैं, तो इसमें power transmission gears लगते हैं. So it's a company which is manufactured by Triveni turbines नहीं, Triveni Engineering जो sugar वाली कंपनी है. अच्छा. उसके अंदर त्रिवेणी में एक power transmission business है जो demerge हो रहा है अभी. So that business makes 35 to 40% EBIT margins by making these gears, power transmission gears. That is also getting indigenized. It's for basically primarily for Navy usage, right? But again, 20 to 30% of the cost in these sensors or these equipment or all these things, right? Even the radars are very important. Radars are gaining importance because recently Ukraine did an attack on Russian submarine via a drone, underwater drone. So these amphibious units or autonomous units, even underwater warfare के लिए, their importance is growing. Because a warship will cost millions of dollars. Whereas within $1 or $2 million, you can disrupt the entire conventional warfare. Right? So a lot of companies are working on this. India में भी I think Krishna Defense ने एक tie-up करा है इस technology को लाने के लिए इधर. Right? So to manufacture these amphibious drones. Right? But let's see how they scale that up. But again, you'll see more and more of these things happening in the modern form of warfare. Other things which are there when it comes to the shipbuilding cost is that there is again like there are these electrical and electronic systems which is 15 to 25%. This includes power distribution, switchboards, automation, control, communication system. Like इसमें like companies like Astra Microwave हो गया, like companies like Avantel, companies like Centum Electronics, all those companies also operate. We'll look at the proxy and the entire value chain as well. Switch gear companies जो traditionally हमें पता है वो भी operate करती है इसमें, right? Then finally 10 to 15% of the cost is in labor, design and project management. So this is the overall cost when it comes to building a ship. Now a question arises कि ये तो चलो ठीक है ship building cost हो गया, अब एक और question आता है कि यार different types of vessels क्या है? Because अभी क्योंकि हम मिलिट्री में ज़्यादा डीप डाइव कर रहे हैं, क्योंकि कमर्शियल में आई थिंक ड्रेजिंग इज समथिंग वन कैन स्टडी और सम ऑफ द वेसल मैन्युफैक्चरर्स, बट लाइक दैट इज अ वेरी साइक्लिकल बिजनेस. मिलिट्री में आई थिंक एक नेवी के अंदर अभी एक सुपर साइकिल चल रही है. तो व्हेन इट कम्स टू डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ वेसल्स, सो व्हाट आर दोज वेसल्स एंड व्हाट इज द टिपिकल कॉस्ट? So when it comes to your patrol boat, so it's a small fast naval craft, right, for coastal security. तो ये 2 to 3 years में टिपिकली बन जाती है. इसका डिस्प्लेसमेंट 100 to 800 टन्स के बीच में होता है. स्मॉल साइज होती है. You would have played that game GTA. GTA में you would have seen many patrolling boats, right? So that's an example, right? Then there are these corvettes. These are light warships, anti-surface air submarine warfare. 1000 to 3500 tons की these displacement is typically, and typical time frame to build these is between 4 to 5 years. Then there are frigates. Frigates are warships for fleet escort, anti-submarine, air and surface warfare. So there are 4 to 6 of them. So typically displacement इनका 3500 to 7000 tons का है. Typical time frame is 4 to 6 years to make them. Then there are these destroyers, heavily armed warships, right? So those are the destroyers, and they have 6 to 10,000 tons of displacement. 6 to 8 years it takes. I think you can see in the pictures as well how a typical ship is. Then there are these submarines which are underwater vessels for stealth attack, right? 1500 to 4500 tons of displacement. Typical time taken to build them is 10 years. Then there are these nuclear submarines. These are nuclear powered submarines. This is a very important part of any country's triangular strategy, right? So that you can do nuclear weapons via sea, air and land, right? And finally there are these aircraft carriers which can carry aircraft for power projection. That also takes 10 to 12 years. इसमें डिस्प्लेसमेंट है 40,000 to 1 lakh टन्स, राइट? सो इसमें अगर आप देखेंगे तो कंपनीज लाइक GRSE पेट्रोल बोट से टिल फ्रिगेट्स दे कैन डू, whereas companies like Mazgaon Dockyard specialize in destroyers and submarines and nuclear submarines. अभी इंडिया में नहीं बनी but they are trying to do it. And aircraft carrier में Cochin Shipyard will specialize, and also in the larger vessels they will be currently specializing.
So, Ishmohit, on the like financials front of the company, right? आपने हमें shipbuilding के financials समझने के लिए you gave us like a good case study on how to look at order books and how, let's say, margins have a cyclicality to it based on how far and long are we in the order book. What are a few other, let's say, financial metrics that one should look at when specifically looking at these shipbuilding companies? What are a few KPIs or like industry level granular financial data जो बहुत ही इस कंपनी से रिलेटेड, इस इंडस्ट्री से रिलेटेड है?
So I think shipyards के केस में what you have to look at is, I'll give with an example, order book, margins, and the number of years the company has a visibility into. जैसे अभी थाइसन कॉर्प करके एक कंपनी है जर्मनी की, उनका भी एक डीमर्जर हुआ है, तो दे हैव देयर शिप बिल्डिंग आर्म लिस्टेड एंड दैट कंपनी नाउ हैज अ 8-year visibility of orders, like 8-year visibility of revenue. They have so many orders right now because पूरे यूरोप में एक ही शिप बिल्डिंग कंपनी लिस्टेड है. तो इंडिया में भी इफ यू वांट टू लुक एट द ऑर्डर बुक ऑफ दीज कंपनीज, सो फॉर एग्जांपल देखेंगे कि जैसे अगर इंडिया में जो स्कॉर्पियन सबमरीन्स हैं उनका अगर ऑर्डर आता है, तो दैट इंटायर ऑर्डर वैल्यू इज क्लोज टू 36,000 crores. तो मजगांव डॉकयार्ड इज द वन विच इज कंपीटिंग एंड नंबर ऑफ प्लेयर्स कितने कंपीट करने के लिए, दिस इज वन ऑफ द KPIs. तो उसमें सबमरीन में एक ही कंपनी है, P75-1 जो नेक्स्ट जेन सबमरीन्स है उसका पूरा ऑर्डर 70,000 crores का आएगा, एक ही कंपनी अगेन. देन L1 कौन सी कंपनी L1 के अंदर है, ऑर्डर के अंदर द हायर प्रोबेबिलिटी टू विन. जैसे नेक्स्ट जनरेशन कॉर्वेट्स के अंदर आप देखते हैं तो 30,000 crore का ऑर्डर है जिसमें 5 कॉर्वेट्स चाहिए, जिसका अगेन GRSE इज द डिक्लेयर्ड L1. FY26 में कभी भी ऑर्डर आ सकता है. अभी आउटस्टैंडिंग ऑर्डर बुक 22,000 crore की है, तो सिंगल ऑर्डर विल बी 30,000 crores. सिमिलरली स्पेशल पर्पस वेसल्स देखते हैं, अगेन इसमें GRSE, कोचिन शिपयार्ड एंड बेसिकली गोवा शिपयार्ड इज देयर. सो इसमें 18 वेसल्स चाहिए, 30,000 crore का, सॉरी 3,000 crore का ये भी ऑर्डर हो सकता है. देन देयर आर द न्यूमरस स्मॉलर ऑर्डर्स, जैसे बोट्स का भी अगर ऑर्डर देखते हैं तो लाइक दैट कुड बी एन एस्टिमेटेड ऑर्डर ऑफ क्लोज टू और 5,000 crores, इसमें 138 क्वांटिटी चाहिए होगी. बट अभी ये छोटी बोट्स हैं, इसमें LNT भी होएगा, प्राइवेट शिपयार्ड्स भी होंगे और GRSE भी होएगा. तो जहाँ छोटी बोट्स है वहाँ पे आपको देखना है एंड क्या ऑर्डर बुक हो सकती है इन कंपनीज की, वो देखना है. तो व्हाट आर द की KPIs? फर्स्ट इज द ऑर्डर्स दीज कंपनीज हैव टुडे, देन द बिडिंग पाइपलाइन दीज कंपनीज हैव, चाहे कोचिन शिपयार्ड की बिडिंग पाइपलाइन हो या GRSE की हो या मजगांव डॉकयार्ड की हो. फॉर एग्जाम्पल नियर टर्म में मजगांव डॉकयार्ड और GRSE की कंबाइंड pipeline is more than 1 lakh crore of orders. Like GRSE का each 1 lakh crore plus of combined order pipeline in next 12 to 18 months. Today's order book stands at 20 to 22,000 crores. Similarly, मजगांव डॉकयार्ड में 2 सबमरीन के अगर ऑर्डर आ गए तो 1,06,000 crore की पाइपलाइन है. So you have to track the pipeline. Then pipeline के बाद you have to check कि what is the visibility these companies have. कि अगर कंपनी एक साल में 5,000 crore की एग्जीक्यूशन करती है and order book होगी 80,000 crores की, so they'll also give you the multi-year visibility these companies have. तो order book हुआ, pipeline हुआ, third is margins. These companies will also talk about their margins, operating margins क्या हो सकते हैं, because generally these are very cash rich, high ROC businesses, because all these companies don't have debt या फिर very less debt. चाहे आप कोचिन शिपयार्ड पे देख ले, थोड़ी सी शॉर्ट टर्म डेट दिखेगी. मजगांव डॉकयार्ड अगेन अ डेट फ्री कंपनी. सिमिलरली GRSE अगेन अ डेट फ्री कंपनी. एक्चुअली शॉर्ट टर्म डेट भी नहीं है GRSE में, राइट, कैश रिच बैलेंस शीट है. तीनों में सेम चीज है ये, राइट. सो बैलेंस शीट लाइक हेल्थ इज गुड. सो दैट इज द थर्ड थिंग टू ट्रैक, मार्जिन्स एंड कितनी जल्दी एग्जीक्यूशन कर सकते हैं. एंड लास्ट थिंग टू ट्रैक इज दैट कि जो मार्जिन्स अभी कंपनी की है क्या वो वन ऑफ तो नहीं है, बिकॉज कोई हायर मार्जिन ऑर्डर एग्जीक्यूट हुए हैं लास्ट 1-2 years में एंड जिसकी वजह से वो मार्जिन्स रिपीट नहीं होंगे नेक्स्ट 2-3 years में. दीज थिंग्स बिकॉज दीज आर PSU मैनेजमेंट्स, दे मेंशन इट इन द कॉन कॉल इटसेल्फ. तो आपको ज्यादा डरने की इसमें जरूरत नहीं है. तो शिपयार्ड्स के लिए तो यही रहेगा. कमर्शियल शिपिंग की साइड पे चार्टर रेट्स ट्रैक करने पड़ेंगे. मेरे से ट्रैक नहीं होता, कोई और ट्रैक कर पाए तो दैट इज फॉर देम. चार्टर रेट्स, नंबर ऑफ शिप्स दे आर एडिंग, दैट इज वन हैज टू ट्रैक. एंड उस शिप पे आपकी क्या चार्टर की अजम्पशन होती है, रेवेन्यू EBITDA अजम्पशन आएगी उससे. देन ड्रेजिंग कंपनीज के अंदर जो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स इन ड्रेजिंग कंपनीज को मिल रहे हैं एंड द क्रेन्स दैट दीज कंपनीज आर एडिंग, जो मतलब जो आपका ड्रेजिंग इक्विपमेंट ये कंपनीज अपनी क्वांटिटी या फिर सप्लाई कितने से बढ़ा रही है, एंड द कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स दे विन, बिकॉज दैट गिव्स यू द मल्टी ईयर ऑर्डर विजिबिलिटी, राइट. सो दैट इज विद द कमर्शियल शिपिंग साइड ऑफ थिंग्स. एंड जैसे अगर कोई कंपनी वेसल बना रही है तो अगेन सिंपली order book and the number of and the amount of order these companies have which is to be executed and at what margins these companies have to execute. Because if you don't execute in stipulated timeline, then that also leads to liquidity damages. So you have to also play we also have to play basically damages. मैं timeline में इस order को execute नहीं कर पाया. So these are the things that one has to track, right, when it comes to the financial metrics of these companies.
And getting to the last section where all of these companies eventually are also flowing orders to certain proxies that we can play. आपने propulsion बताया, आपने engines बताया, radars बताया. Why don't we do a quick roundup on all those as well? And then वहाँ पे a quick rundown on all these companies, वहाँ पे हमें क्या देखना चाहिए, and hopefully then wrap it up.
So very quickly, when we come to the proxy of this sector and when we look at different companies which are operating in different things, so जैसे अगर आप pumps, valves और fluid systems में देखेंगे, राइट, तो फायर पंप्स हो गए, फ्यूल ट्रांसफर या सी वाटर कूलिंग वाल्व्स हो गए, तो इसमें किर्लोस्कर पंप्स करके आपको कंपनी दिखेगी, राइट, केएसबी करके आपको एक कंपनी दिखेगी, बट इनके लिए स्मॉल पार्ट ऑफ द बिजनेस है, ट्रू प्रॉक्सी नहीं कह सकते इन कंपनीज को. Now, if you look at the companies which are into shipboard automation and controls, जो power management engine control systems बना रही है, Siemens, ABB, L&T, Honeywell करके कंपनीज यहाँ पे दिखेगी. पाइपिंग ट्यूब्स एंड फिटिंग्स में देखेंगे तो एक्चुअली में जो हमारी जो कंपनीज लाइक रत्नमणि होगी या कंपनीज लाइक वेल्समन कॉर्प आपको यहाँ पे देखेंगी, बट अगेन इनका स्मॉल पोर्शन ऑफ द बिजनेस होएगा, नॉट अ बिग पोर्शन ऑफ द बिजनेस. देन अगर आप नेवी गियर्स में देखेंगे, राइट, गियर बॉक्सेस में देखेंगे तो एम लाइक एलिकॉन इंजीनियरिंग करके आपको कंपनी दिखेगी. स्पेशल मटेरियल एंड कॉम्पोजिट्स में देखेंगे तो मिधानी करके आपको एक कंपनी दिखेगी जो स्पेशल अलॉयज बनाती है, राइट. देन यू लुक एट कंपनीज विच आर एक्चुअली into the yard structure and services, जो हमने पहले ही बात करी, which are like likes of Adani Ports का shipping arm, L&T का shipping arm हो गया, GRSE, Mazagon Dockyard and all those companies come over here. Then when it comes to your companies which are into HVAC systems, तो अब हम एकदम 100% proxies पे जा रहे हैं, जो ships के heating, ventilation और cooling systems बनाती है. So there is a very small company, She Refrigeration करके, right, so they have this multi-year order visibility because of that, because they are one of the only companies in HVAC systems. Takes 5 years to crack that. फिर bulb bars बनते हैं ships के, जिसमें आपको एक particular temperature पे metal को heat करना होता है, right, so that's a know-how. There are only 2 companies in that. One of the companies is listed, which is Krishna Defense. They also make these composite doors because composite doors are lighter in nature. तो composite material के जो door बनाते हैं आप, तो उन्होंने Wabo करके एक Dutch company उसके साथ tie up करा है composite doors बनाने के लिए. Then there is a company Control Fluid System करके जो सबमरीन के पार्ट्स और शिप के पार्ट्स बनाती है, एंड दे ऑल्सो मेक दीज लाइक, अभी पता नहीं होएगा नहीं होएगा, बट अभी एक सोनार का एक टेंडर आया हुआ है, लाइक जो सबमरीन्स में सोनार लगता है, तो उसमें 2 कंपनीज बिड कर रही हैं, क्रैसनी डिफेंस करके अनलिस्टेड में, एंड दिस कंपनी इज देयर, राइट. देन देयर इज अ कंपनी जो नेवल लाइक सरफेस गन्स बनाती है, आदित्य प्रेसीटेक करके, विच हैज अ टाई अप विद एल्बिट सिस्टम्स, right, so that is also a proxy to this. Then there is a company जो electrical system बनाती है ships के, that is Marine Electricals, but this is how the entire proxy ecosystem is. Then there are companies which are into submarine batteries, जैसे HBL की बात करेंगे, they make these submarine batteries. And then there are also companies which are into radar and electronic systems of a ship, जैसे भारत इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स की बात करेंगे तो electronic warfare systems के अंदर that is one of the numero uno companies. And even companies like Astra Microwave, Data Patterns, these are working for basically the basically on the radar side of these ships. So these are the different proxies which are available in the shipbuilding sector in India. But as an investor, what you have to check कि कितना percentage in companies का shipbuilding sector से आ रहा है, because some of these companies won't be getting much revenue, but some of the companies will be getting 100% of the revenues. So that is your job as an investor to see when it comes to proxy investing.
Honestly, every podcast that we do, I bring you a very simple question. आज का था why shipbuilding, and now we're ending this podcast on what all is there to shipbuilding, because although it started with just shipyards, we've talked about HVAC systems, radars, submarines and
bulb bars.
So I hope that the audience found this interesting and they are taking away a lot of investment ideas. And that's pretty much it from our end. I think I am left speechless, honestly. And I hope we'll see you in the next one, talking about more interesting things.
Thank you so much for hosting me again. Hopefully the audience at least uses this as a कहते हैं ना कि एक आपको इंट्रोडक्टरी रिसर्च करनी है किसी सेक्टर पे, तो आई मेक द वीडियोस विद द पर्सपेक्टिव कि यार आपकी इंट्रोडक्टरी रिसर्च हो जाए, विकीपीडिया वाला काम हो जाए, बाकी फिर आपका काम खुद का है.
नहीं, I think we've done slightly better job than Wikipedia. We've pointed them in very specific directions, and if people act on it, wonderful. If they don't, keep learning. just like both of us do,
Right.
and stay safe. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.